Happy Fresh Friday. So today we're going to talk about 10 detoxifying massage moves to do with a foam roller and 5 reasons to do them, okay? So you know that simple foam roller that sits in the gym and you just like stare at it and then walk by? That's what we're going to talk about. So the foam roller is actually the most non-committal at-home detoxifying massage tool you'll ever try. But just like deep tissue massage, it can be somewhat painful. But the payoff is way worth it, and at least you have the ability to make it as intense or not as intense as you would like to. So why do you want to use a foam roller in the first place? First of all, it can take the place of an expensive massage, which is great, right, if you're on a budget? But that's not reason enough. We have 5. So my top 5 benefits are benefit 1, it blasts away cellulite. Yay! Who wants cellulite? Ah! But cellulite only occurs because underlying fat is being pushed through the weakened connective tissue. So a foam roller can help roll out any congestion and flush out any toxins, which helps regenerate the connective tissue, ultimately reducing cellulite. Number 2, it improves digestion. So a lot of people have digestive issues, in fact a lot of us do, and the majority of our nervous system is actually located in our gut. So smoothing out the knots in our muscles can soothe out the knots in our tummy. And so foam rolling also supports and calms our nervous system and improves circulation to the organs, both of which improve digestion. So benefit number 3 is it boosts metabolism, and who doesn't want a faster metabolism? So using a foam roller won't help you get a good sweat in, but it will improve oxygen and circulation to the muscles and help eliminate toxins from the body. And guess what? The more toxins you eliminate from the body, actually the faster your metabolism works. So benefit 4 is it shortens recovery time. So the lactic acid that builds up in your muscles is what's responsible for that soreness, and rolling helps break up that lactic acid faster, improving and speeding up recovery time. And the last final benefit is it decreases stress levels, something we all need. Let's face it, stress causes muscle tension, and rolling enhances circulation, which helps flush the toxins out of the cells. So the less toxins, the less stress your body's gonna have. Also, the slow, deep pressure of these massage tools helps stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which overrides stress hormones and brings the body back into balance. And it's a harmonious state. And this, my friends, is where we all want to live, right? So I'm gonna bring in a special guest to help me show you 10 top muscle groups that we're gonna go over. And if you haven't used a foam roller before, this is a great opportunity to be able to see what it's about and how to use it. So come on in, surprise! Special guest, Tim Andrews, everyone.
That's right.
Golf clap. So we're gonna show you 10 different muscle groups. In case you're new to the foam roller, there's a couple different links I put at the bottom. And this is actually a ball, blue balls, no pun intended. So we're going to start with our foot, because the foot actually is really important. I mean, it all starts from it's literally the foundation for a reason. So we have to keep our feet healthy. And you know, taking that plantar fascia muscle that's connected from the heel to the toes and really helping smooth that out can really help to reduce the pressure and help to add circulation so that you eliminate any toe problems. I can't see your head, honey.
Oh.
So,
But wasted on the video.
so if you want to put your foot on this, if you have a ball, it's really good. And what you do is you could take one of the sides of the ball and just rub it back and forth all the way from the toes to the heel. So that plantar fascia muscle really gets that massage. And like I said, you have the control of how strong you want to make it. So if you don't have one of these and all you have is like a simple foam roller, you can do the same thing with your foot. So you could take it and just roll it back and forth. Obviously he's kneeling, so you can see him But when you're standing, you can put as much pressure as you want on your foot, and that really helps. So why don't you come down to the floor, and then we'll show them how you do your calf muscle. So if you place your hands behind you, fingertips pointing outward, you can basically bend your left knee and push into the foot, which is going to create the pressure on the calf, and you can push into the hands and roll it back and forth so that it goes all the way up from the top of the calf to the bottom of the calf. And that's the thing with rolling, is you don't have to do a lot of it, you just have to do it a couple times, at the most a minute per muscle group. So after you've done both calves, then you switch to, while you're there, you can move it all the way up to your hamstrings. And you guys, the hamstrings are so important because we're sitting all day, and they usually get really tight, as well as the hip flexors. And what you can do, when you do this, you're going to notice if you have lower back pain, it will really help that. So you just kind of push your weight into your palms, and Tim's actually an expert foam roller, so he's doing it like double duty, you know, so we can see that. And or you could just do one at a time. All right, so we're gonna move up to the gluteus muscles. And so since, you know, like I said, since you're on there, you just it's a natural progression of movement from your foot all the way up to your glute muscle. So if you just push into your palms and you lean to one side, you're gonna feel the pressure. And like I said, you can control the pressure by pushing into your hand a little bit more to take some pressure off, or let your weight go. The more weight you let go, the more you're gonna feel that intense muscle pressure. Yes, and that's really what you want. And it's funny because Tim doesn't care for deep tissue massages, where I love them. Like, I want to be like almost hurt, which is kind of weird. But he does like the foam rolling. So I think it has to do with control, and he likes the ability to control it and himself. And also when he's in a massage, he likes to relax. So once you do the glute muscle, you're done with the other glute muscle, you're gonna move it onto your lower back. And one of the things you don't want to do with the foam roller is push it on your spine. So the muscles are on both sides of the back, so go ahead and do one side of the lower back at a time. So you kind of like lean into your elbow or your hand, and just kind of get in the, so we're on the lower back now, so we're gonna keep you up here.
It's always good to have someone telling you what to do all the time.
Yeah, this is why
this
you get married.
so well.
So you feel that on your lower back?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just like do that, and then you'll switch to the other side of the lower back. The upper back is a little bit different. You could do that all at once, and I'm just getting the other side of the lower back. And this for me is really tender, so I tend to take a lot of the pressure off my lower back until I can handle it. And at the bottom, I put a few links below. There's different foam rollers. There's foam rollers that vibrate, and there's foam rollers that don't. You know, Tom Brady recommends the ones that vibrate. He says it's the only way you can get into the central nervous system, whereas the research really hasn't proven that. But sorry, Tom, I love you, Tom. You could send me one of your vibrating foam rollers, and I will be sure to do a valid comparison. But so then we're going to be doing the top of the back. So if you go ahead and like bend your knees and plant your feet flat, and then you can either cross your arms like you're going down a water slide, which we just did. It was so fun, Tidal Cove. And University of Miami was there the day after. I don't know how I missed that team, but University of Miami team was at Tidal Cove the day after. We were there, the whole team. I would have had them lift me up, like crowd surf on the U. So he's doing what he's going slowly across the top of his back, getting the top of the back muscles and the lats. And you can kind of lean to one side to get your lats in there, and piriformis, and even like the tops of the shoulders. Yeah, so then that's another way to do it, is like laying on your side and getting into that area on the lat on both sides. So why don't you go ahead and flip over, and then we'll show them how to do your quads. That's what he said. Okay,
That's what he said.
so go ahead and so what you're gonna do is so when you lean on your hands and you're kind of like in an upward dog position, you're gonna go ahead and tuck your toes. If you don't need that much pressure, you can obviously flatten out your toes, but you could do these both together, so you're kind of killing two quads with one roll. And then so just go ahead and roll out that for a minute, and that's like really, really tight, usually because we use these muscles the most and they're the biggest. So go ahead and make sure that you roll your quads out. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can get into the hip flexors and go a little bit further down on the roller. Okay. So the next one, we're going to do the inner and outer thighs. Like, so the thighs are tricky, so you can kind of go into tabletop position and then one leg up. I think that's a song. One leg up.
Oh, like this.
So then you turn it, yeah, and then so you get that roll this way on the adductor, the inner thigh muscle. So that's really important too, because that's an area that's so tender. Like, I won't even let a massage therapist touch me there. Sorry, it's just uncomfortable. But it actually feels good when you're doing it yourself. So then you can do it on the other side, so you don't want to be lopsided. And then the other muscle, the last one, is your IT band. So for your runners, bikers, triathletes, anybody that does a lot of running, sport that does a lot of running, you want to lean on your side and push into your palm. And like I said before, you want to just put as much pressure onto that leg as possible and where it's the most comfortable. Because again, the IT bands can be really tight, especially if you're already an athlete or a pseudo athlete, where you work out and you'd like to be an athlete, but you don't work out over 2 hours a day. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this Fresh Friday. Thank you to my special guest. I really appreciate having you here. And
I love being here, Nicole.
just remember, when you live fresh, you nourish the whole you. So have a great weekend, and if you have any questions, I really appreciate your comments, or if you'd like to share this, if it was helpful, do that as well. So thanks guys, have a good one.